Take a listen at the Burkinabe President Ibrahim Traoré dismiss Western reports that he is facing an armed mutiny within the military, following the June 11, 2024 attack by extremists in Mansila, as well as the subsequent June 12 gunfire and accidental rocket explosion at the national media station RTB. This is a speech that he delivered on June 20, 2024 as he visited the RTB headquarters in Ouagadougou, to express his solidarity with the media house, its staff, and assure them that his administration will provide them with adequate security, and that there's nothing to worry about but just to remain vigilant.
Bonjour à tous.
Hello everyone. I would say that it is a real pleasure to stop by and say hello once again. Yesterday, it was exactly a week since the incident happened. I'm going to go see where the rocket fell. But know one thing, that it's those who are there to protect you, who unfortunately caused the incident, because you see them posting around. They surely tire you a lot lately every morning because they have reinforced security for several months, which brings a lot of searches and inconveniences, but it's for you. It's so that someone cannot come and harm you here, because you are very important. It is a strategic place, and it is within the framework of their training that they unfortunately want to check a certain number of things. So someone caused the attack, and those who were next to him and the one who fired it were also injured, and they were transported to Ouagadougou that day. Thank God they left Ouagadougou with some after effects, of course, because the rocket is not forgiving, especially at that level. Unfortunately, the rocket went into the RTB courtyard here, and we can still give thanks to God because there were no victims as such. There were 2 injured people who were immediately taken care of by the presidency infirmary, with the help from the camps, after which the council was also able to come and see the damage and therefore realize the situation of the injured, who were stable, and I hope that they're even better as civilians. We set up a team of psychologists to try to take charge of these 2 injured people and all the staff. So I come today as a psychologist to try again to cheer you up and tell you not to be afraid, because this was not done on purpose against you. It's just an incident that happened in the handling of the weapons, as it always happens. This is why we called in the STC, because there are rules for us. Unfortunately, incidents can happen, they always happen, and it's often unfortunate, so we can thank God that there was really no death and all the injured are recovering. We say thank God. Nobody wants to be surprised, so when a replacement arrives there, everyone wants to check that these work tools are working very well. It's normal, it's logical. But we are in the city and these incidents should not happen in the city, so don't be more afraid than that, and I hope that the tension is going down. We delayed before coming to see you because we had a good reason, and we can explain to you why. Otherwise we could have come to see you the following day, but we did it knowingly, and I think you will understand. Here, you will have the opportunity to ask any questions that may be answered. We're going to chat here and there to distress you a little, because from what I see, there is so much information flowing everywhere and you yourself are asking the questions too. Excellent, hello, please. Okay, precisely, in relation to the incident which happened to you, in any case, it was not necessary just to feed the social networks and even certain media which speak of mutiny of men and your probable flight towards an unknown destination. What exactly happened? Maybe they were even going to say that the TV director was kidnapped too. Well, that's not the case. That's it, and often, we are used to saying a certain number of terminologies people say and which we shouldn't say, but the reality is there. In fact, there are stateless people, there are enemies of the nation, and there is a speech of Sankara that I see, that you broadcasted the last time I was following. It's current, it's as if he's here today and that he is actually speaking. This is the reality. This is absolutely not the case. We are here and everyone should be careful on this day. The incident happened while we were in a council meeting, and if people had failed, would there have been a press briefing after the council? There was a press briefing, and as they have the habit of lying as they breathe, they try to fool people. These individuals, you should not listen to them. They want to distract people, nothing else. Importantly, We never run away. We are soldiers, and that's the last thing that comes to mind. We don't back down, we don't give up, and we don't kneel before anyone, except our parents and God. So that's our mentality. It's like that they said everything they wanted, and we just watched, and precisely it's because of that we didn't come very early. We had to let them feed their lies, and that's what I was saying. Maybe they were going to come and say that the director was kidnapped and even his wife, who perhaps believes in their nonsense. But now, I see that they are lying, they have hatred in him, they are made up intellectually, and that means that they are obliged to lie. Because surely, they have made a pact with the imperialists, and are obliged to work for those crooks. Otherwise we are there, we continue to work, we are with you every morning, we will keep passing by. And we came because we didn't want to let them continue to the point of drowning themselves and others, but I think that they have now drowned. All of Africa understands that they are stateless people, they are enemies of the nation. That's it, they are absolutely nothing. Mr. President, what is your assessment of the treatment of this incident by the media, particularly the Western media? The Western media is not new, and that's good. You are journalists, you work in information. You see what we call the lying media. I think many have understood now most are lying media. They spend the time lying and trying to manipulate. And today when I look at them in the reporting and everything they say, it's shameful. And it's very good. They even managed to prove to all of Africa, and to the whole world, who are liars, and it's good. I think that African youth must have understood, Burkinabe youth must have understood, that it is time they unsubscribed from these people and are no longer listening to them, because they have manipulated us all for a long time. You have several examples at home. We take Ivory Coast, which did not hate Gbagbo. In any case, our generation, they lied so much about him. They told nonsense and they put pressure on you with information, and you ended up hating the person. They make a model of the person to impose that on you. You end up hating the person, they take him to the ICC. Afterwards, we tell him that there is nothing, and he is guilty of nothing. It's that serious. Gaddafi, we let Gaddafi die and here are the consequences. They say he was a dictator, that he did this, he did that. Through their organizations, they lie. RFI, I don't know what, France 24, Le Monde Africa, and others. They are obliged to do the work that is asked of them. They are in fact not free. There are a lot of media there that's not free. They don't make a living from advertising or whatever. It's not true, it's people who pay them. And you give the information the way they want. Even unfortunately here, there is one in Burkina. There are plenty. This is the truth, and when we often say it, people say that we are attacking journalists, but there are some. I think that you have to make the choice between earning your bread but also loving your homeland. In fact, it's true they fight for their homeland. Everything they do is for the benefit of their homeland, but we have to depart from that, and we see national media which take these media as a reference. They're often, we look at certain newspapers they quote, yet according to such newspapers they are just lies. They have no information, they have nothing to report to them, they are liars because when they want to attack a country, they hurt the country as they want. They say what they want about the country to make everyone hate it, and be able to get across what they want, but I think that this time around, we understand we are in 2024, and well, it's a game of chess. Let's go, and we will see what it will give. You must get rid of these media. Hello, Your Excellence. Mine is related to the shooting incident. Some sources have indicated that there were movements of planes, of helicopters in Ouagadougou and Dori. What explained these observed movements of helicopters and planes? We said that we fled a helicopter to go to Dori, and when you see grown-ups lying, it's pitiful. In reality, it was on Wednesday. It was the day after the attack that we launched the operation at Dori, and so the helicopters were sending troops as reinforcements. Again, it's just that they took off here to go to Dori to go take some elements. Therefore from the 9th and with elements of hygiene that they took here in Ouagadougou, for the operation in Mansila. So we also called it like that. It's true, you see they have a tactic. As I say, the few networks that remain there, they exploit that to do something probable. They always take true information, and around it, they construct their big lie. If you are not vigilant, you will believe that it is true. The helicopters really flew over. It's true, and that's a fact everyone observed then. But why did they flew over? That's the question. So they build the big lie around that everyone saw the helicopters flying over, and they use that to say that we're done. No, that's not true. It's the same tactic that they used when the helicopters landed in Ouagadougou, and here they were flying from Aloshine to Ouagadougou. That's right, the planes have been landing, but they take that, and when I look at them, they lie so much as they breathe. They built a few big lies around that. They say that it's Wagner and the Malian soldiers who came. I would say not Malian military, it's the AES military. So they are Malians, and are free to come to Burkina when they want, as they want, and there's nothing wrong. The Russians are already here, we work together. They are here, why were we still going to bring them in? Oh well, that's it. They couldn't help us do what we want. Secondly, I can reassure you that these planes, for example, have landed, and they had elected officials that I explained to you. The planes are United Nations equipment. After the end of the mission, the ammunition remained in Gao, in Bamako, and everywhere. It was the Timbuktu boat that had started to take our ammunition from elsewhere to evacuate to Bamako. They destroyed those boats. So we found other ways to send it out there. And this is ammunition that we picked up. There are even munitions from other countries that we are going to destroy here. So there is a United Nations structure which is there. There was a mass which is aware of the operation, which must even supervise this operation on these 2 days. It's the ammunition from the mission that we picked up in Gao. We had an FPI, and in Timbuktu we had our men, the ministers, that's all. But the persistence there should allow you to understand that there is something strange all the same, so it is false. The reports are false. There was nothing, and it was only yesterday or the day before yesterday, where there's a major staff who was obliged to communicate, but we didn't even want him to communicate, but it's because the parents of the beloved soldiers started to call them. They asked them, that is it true you want to mutiny or not? The soldiers said that they are in operation, others are towards eating, then there are those who are towards banishment in operation. And the parents were annoying him a lot, so they asked that the general staff could really communicate so that we could stop annoying them and let them concentrate on their operations. You see what they're doing? It's not good, otherwise there's nothing, absolutely nothing. Perhaps this is their wish. It's their wish, but they won't see it come true. No, it's an insult to our soldiers. Our soldiers are much more intelligent than them. They know what they are doing, they know where the country is, they know where we are talking. Excellency, in certain circles, there has even been talk of a power vacuum, and that within the army ranks, there would be negotiations to appoint your successor. Have you been kept informed of this dictatorship? If it is that vacant, can they come to take it, since they said that? We knew how to go to Niger. They did not come to take, they in fact did not understand anything. But understand them if they were paid, and they have not achieved their objective. They are forced to lie to justify what they do, and it's not them alone. You see Jibril Bassoles or others, they wander around the world, they lie, they make it up with their terrorists to kill Burkinabes, believing that they can change things. But it's over. People have understood, so we have to tell them that maybe if it's vacant, they just have to come and take it. These people have nothing. They have no children, they have nothing in the army, and you are the one who sits there trying to manipulate other people's children, hoping them to do what you want. They are intelligent. That means it's an insult. It's an insult even to Burkinabe people to take people for children, tell nonsense and think people will swallow it. No, our people are smart. The year is 2024. It's more the years where people can see information like that and then pounce on it and everything, but remember that they have several objectives. It's chaos, and that's it. Destabilizing Burkina and our course of action because they don't like it, and that comforts us. It comforts us. It makes us want to move towards our objective that we have assigned ourselves, so don't have any fear. A lot of information has come out. As you said, What is your message to the Burkinabes inside and especially to the diaspora, who are asking a lot of questions about the progress of the transition? People will understand. Here we are, that's where they'll say it's fake too, come shake my hand, maybe they'll believe that at least it's not fake. They are the ones who have all the technology, we do not have it yet at that level, so we are free in our country and people should not worry. I said that they have a lot of objectives. One of the objectives is to scare investors, to say that Burkina is unstable. Burkina cannot do this. You know that Burkina has been one of the 10 most attractive countries in Africa since 2023. Investors want to come to Burkina because they see the vision. They see that this country can develop with what we are doing, so there are a lot of people who visit us, who come to invest in Burkina, and when they do that, it scares investors. It's their objective, therefore mine is to tell those Burkinabes from outside and other investors who want to come to Burkina that ignore what they say. Burkina is very stable, they can come, they can believe in Burkina and all those who are outside, all these media lies. It's the leaves that they're talking about. So this is one of their objectives. They have a plan in mind, that's for sure. But we are also aware, we are waiting for them. The shot closes. So maybe next time, we'll say on behind the TV. Be careful, it's not excluded that their next plan is that they try to hack a certain number of applications in Burkina Faso to disrupt certain things. We wait for them, they do nothing for nothing. When they start their lies, the disinformation is with a view to something, but we follow them and we wait for them firmly, and we will give them the answer they need. And those who are also inside, who continue to manipulate with them, they will understand this now. It's over, we have allowed the time to elapse for them to spill all their lies. We are going to act very firmly, so people must not rely on these external, I would say bullshit like that. That doesn't mean anything, and it's unfortunate that it's Burkinabes who find themselves outside who participate in that. There are many in Ivory Coast who continue in this way. We don't know what we did to these people. But they will not continue anymore, no one will listen to them again. That's it, so it's to reassure everyone, the Burkinabes, of the interest of remaining serene and imperturbable, there is nothing. We are here and we continue to work for the happiness of Burkinabes. With everything that's going on, do you ever feel afraid for your life? How do you deal emotionally with everything that's happening? The reason is serene, the emotion is absolutely Negro, that's it. You see, they also play on emotion. That's when they finally made everyone understand that they're at the origin of the attacks, and they try to use that to create emotion, because in their head, nerves are only emotion. We are not afraid. We were never afraid because we were lucky, I would say, to have been in the field and to experience situations where we should have lost our lives since then. I tell you that there are situations where we got out. We don't know how, it's only God who knows how we got out. If we wouldn't have stopped here. Often I sit down, it's true, I think about certain things on the ground, I say to myself, but how does God know what He is doing? So that's it. If it's fear, we never know fear, and we pray to God never to know fear. If we wanted to know fear, maybe if we had started we would start to be afraid. But there they are, they wait until we have accounts with them there to wake up one day, say you do this or else we close. They will never have our accounts there, we don't care about having accounts over there, we have no good there, we will never have any good. Everything we do is for Burkina, we don't even want to leave our Burkina, we are at peace here. Elsewhere, it's a big space. If we want to go sightseeing, we can go to Bamako, in Niamey, or I don't know, in other cities. We don't care about going elsewhere. We are comfortable in our space, here we don't know fear. No, we don't know to be afraid. We decided to commit ourselves to the homeland, we know all the risks that there are around us. We gave up our whole life for that, to not be afraid. We abandoned all our youth there for a mission for the homeland, so there is no fear. You can remain without fear, zero fear. The next phase to which you must be very careful is artificial intelligence. Be careful, because I sometimes see videos of myself speaking Spanish or speaking Chinese. I thank those who do it because they manage to translate our speeches, but it is very dangerous. So this phase will come, as I told you, and all that, it will come. So stay focused and do the patriotic work you do. Thank you a lot for the courage, and I hope your morale is lifted.